Have you ever heard of a princess born from a cloud of foam? It sounds like something straight out of a fairy tale. But for the people of South Kalimantan in Indonesia, this is the legendary origin of the very first queen. This is the incredible story of Princess Junjung Buih, a tale that has been passed down through generations, weaving together myth, history, and the founding of the great Banjar Kingdom. Our story begins long ago, in a prosperous kingdom called Negara Dipa, nestled along the fertile river banks of what is now South Kalimantan. The kingdom was ruled by a wise and just king named Empu Jatmika. He had two sons, Empu Mandastana and Lambung Mangkurat. As the king grew old, he knew he had to choose a successor. But instead of simply naming his eldest son, he had a vision. A prophecy foretold that the future ruler of Negara Dipa would not be of his direct bloodline, but someone chosen by the heavens. Following his father's final wishes, Lambung Mangkurat, the younger and the more spiritually attuned son, took on the responsibility of finding this prophesied heir. He was a man of great patience and deep faith. He decided to undertake a long and arduous period of meditation, fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, hoping for a sign from the divine. He traveled to the confluence of 3 rivers, a place considered sacred, and he began his vigil. Days turned into weeks. The jungle was filled with strange sounds, and the river flowed endlessly, but Lambung Mangkurat remained steadfast. He prayed for guidance, for a sign that would lead him to the rightful ruler of his people. Finally, on the 40th night, his patience was rewarded. As the moon cast a silver glow upon the water, a great commotion began. The river started to churn and bubble, and from the swirling currents, a massive cloud of white foam began to rise. Lambung Mangkurat watched in awe as the foam swirled and grew, shimmering under the moonlight. It was unlike anything he had ever seen. Then, as the foam slowly parted, a beautiful baby girl was revealed, lying peacefully on a lotus leaf, as if she had just been born from the river itself. She was radiant, her skin glowing, and her presence exuded a sense of divine grace. Lambung Mangkurat knew, in his heart, that this was the sign he had been waiting for. This was the heaven-sent heir. He carefully lifted the baby and named her Putri Junjung Buih, which translates to princess carried by the foam, in honor of her miraculous appearance. The news of the princess's arrival spread like wildfire throughout the kingdom. The people of Negara Dipa were overjoyed. They saw her as a blessing, a symbol of a prosperous future. Lambung Mangkurat brought the infant princess back to the palace and raised her as his own daughter, ensuring she received the finest education and was taught the ways of a just and compassionate ruler. Princess Junjung Buih grew into a woman of unparalleled beauty, wisdom, and kindness. Her reputation was known far and wide. Meanwhile, in a faraway land, another miraculous event had taken place. A prince was discovered in the Majapahit kingdom on the island of Java. He was found meditating inside a giant bamboo stalk and he was named Pangeran Suryanata, meaning Sun Prince. Like Princess Junjung Buih, he was believed to be of divine origin. As he grew into a handsome and powerful young man, stories of the foam-born princess from the land of Borneo reached his ears. Intrigued and feeling a deep connection to her story, he decided to travel to Negara Dipa to see this legendary princess for himself. When Pangeran Suryanata arrived at the court of Negara Dipa, he requested an audience with Princess Junjung Buih. However, the princess, being of divine descent, had a special condition for any suitor. She declared that she would only marry a man who could defeat a powerful, mythical beast that guarded a sacred temple deep within the jungle. Man had tried and he failed, but Pangeran Suryanata, confident in his own divine power, accepted the challenge without hesitation. Armed with a sacred kris, or dagger, Pangeran Suryanata ventured into the dark, uncharted jungle. He faced numerous obstacles, but his resolve never wavered. Finally, he reached the temple and came face to face with the monstrous guardian. A fierce battle ensued. The prince fought with courage and skill, and after a long and difficult struggle, he emerged victorious. He returned to the palace, not with the head of the beast, but with proof of his triumph, fulfilling the princess's condition. Princess Junjung Buih was impressed by his bravery and divine strength. She recognized him as her equal, her destined partner. Lambung Mangkurat, seeing that the heavens had brought these two extraordinary individuals together, gave his blessing for the union. The wedding of Princess Junjung Buih and the Pangeran Suryanata was the grandest celebration the kingdom had ever seen. It was a union of two divine souls, a joining of the river and the sun, symbolizing a new era of power and the prosperity. Together, they ascended to the throne, not as rulers of Negara Dipa, but as the founders of a new and the greater kingdom, the Banjar Kingdom. Princess Junjung Buih became the first queen, and the Pangeran Suryanata the first king. The reign marked the beginning of a golden age for the Banjar people. Under the wise leadership, the kingdom flourished, trade expanded, and a unique culture, blending local traditions with influences from Java and beyond, began to blossom. The story of Princess Junjung Buih is more than just a myth. It's the foundational epic of the Banjar people. It explains their origins and the divine right of their first rulers. It's a story about faith, destiny, and the magical connection between the people and the land, particularly the rivers that are the lifeblood of South Kalimantan. Her legacy lives on, not in dusty history books, but in the oral traditions, the art, and the identity of the Banjar people today. She remains a symbol of purity, divine leadership, and the mystical beginnings of a proud and the enduring kingdom. So the next time you see a river foaming and churning, perhaps you'll remember the tale of the princess who rose from the water to rule a kingdom. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the most incredible stories are the ones that shape our world. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into Indonesian mythology, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories from around the globe. See you next time.